Does your car suddenly hesitate when you pull out into traffic or start puffing out black smoke when you try to accelerate on the highway? If you have hooked up your scanner and found the code P2126, you are dealing with a range and performance issue in the throttle position sensor circuit designated as E. Your engine relies on a device called a potentiometer to measure exactly how far the throttle plate is opening at any given moment. Think of it like a volume knob for your engine air intake. The powertrain control module, which is the main computer for your vehicle, sends out a steady 5-volt reference signal and a ground to this sensor. Under normal conditions, when you are just sitting at a stoplight at idle, the sensor should send back about 0.5 volts. When you mash the pedal to the floor, that signal should sweep up smoothly to about 4.5 volts. If the computer sees a voltage that does not match what the engine speed and load suggest it should be, it triggers this code and might even put your car into a reduced power mode to protect the engine. You might notice the check engine light glowing on your dash, an intermittent stumble when you change speeds, or even a situation where the car simply will not start. The most common causes for this are a sensor that has developed an internal short, a wiring harness that has rubbed through its insulation against a metal bracket, or even just a bit of corrosion inside the plastic connector. To fix this, you really need a professional tool like an oscilloscope. A regular scan tool only takes samples every few milliseconds and can easily miss a tiny dropout in the signal that happens in the blink of an eye. When you watch the signal on a scope, it should look like a perfectly smooth hill as you open the throttle. If you see any sharp spikes or sudden drops to zero, the sensor is definitely bad and needs to be replaced. You can also perform a wiggle test by moving the wiring harness while the engine is idling to see if the signal jumps around. Always check to make sure you have that 5-volt reference coming from the computer and ensure that the signal wire has not accidentally shorted to 12-volt battery power, which can fry the sensor instantly. If you are not comfortable testing delicate electronics or using a scope, this is the time to visit a technician who can verify the fix before you start throwing expensive parts at the problem. Keeping your throttle system clean and your connections tight is the best way to ensure your car responds exactly when you need it to on the road.